Right, hello everybody, welcome to the Adam Clery football channel. I am Adam Clery, and hands up, who had a tenner on that? Liverpool rock up at Wembley, showing off their shiny new players, their shiny new kits, and their manager's shiny old head. And genuinely struggle a bit against a Palace team who spent their summer in arbitration against UEFA and trying to block any calls from North London to Abriche Eze's phone. So the question today is, how does this, because hey lads, look how good this is, muster only 5 shots on goal, less touches in the box than Palace, and half the XG? If you're bothered about XG, which Arne Slot will be. Alright, so before we start, yes, I'm talking a bit weird. I bit my tongue playing football, which is a brand new injury for me. So amongst other things, I'm feeling quite weird because it's really sore. So either give me sympathy or just don't mention it. Anyway though, the football, it is all fun and games going and buying Frimpong and Kirkes and Wirtz and Ekitike and getting Salah and Van Dijk to sign new contracts. But sooner or later, life catches up with you and you've got to find a way of making all this work on a football pitch. And as you saw, for large parts of the Community Shield, it may be considerably harder than simply just having loads of good players. And just before we get into all this, right, I want to make something absolutely clear. Crystal Palace won this game of football because Crystal Palace were brilliant. Oliver Glasner has, with this group of players, got a team that is so solid. When they all drop in to defend, Liverpool really struggled to get any meaningful penetration through the centre of the pitch, but also still explosive when they come out of this shape. Like, you look at the equaliser as Wharton clips the ball in, and yes, you can point fingers at Van Dijk or Konate or Frimpong, all randomly making a different decision in the moment. One steps up, one does nothing, one sprints back. But what you're really looking at here is a defence that aren't entirely sure who best to mark. Frimpong is standing on Mitchell but worried about Eze. Van Dijk is drawn towards Saar but doesn't want to leave Mateta 1v1. And Gakpo, all the way over here, means Kirkes cannot leave Munoz and cover across. And that is bad by Liverpool, yes, but it's more than it was good by Crystal Palace. I thought they thoroughly deserved to win this game, albeit win it 2-2. And I just wanted to say all that before we get stuck into the main part of this video, which is about Liverpool, because they are the tactical curiosity of the summer. But to mention this game and not mention how good Palace were specifically, I thought would have been wrong and would have made me feel bad, so there you go. So yes, Arne Slot gets all of his new toys on the pitch and they are ahead within the first few minutes, which is brilliant. They played some absolutely unbelievable stuff in that opening half hour. Looked genuinely scary, but didn't really have any great openings to show for it, and slowly, as the game went on, lost more and more control. Like that Ekitike, that's a really hard word to say with this tongue, Ekitike goal comes at the end, awful, of a 22 pass move that lasts 66 seconds and involves 9 players, and it sees them repeatedly probe Palace's defence before this rotation between Wirtz, Gakpo and Ekitike gives them the smallest opening for a shot. And you do, don't you? You remember Hugo Ekitike when he was getting linked. People were saying, oh, he's a big underperformer in front of goal. He's not a very good finisher. Yeah, well, it's the same guy. And that's him lashing the ball through a cat flap from 18 yards without so much as being able to look up and see where the goal is. How strange. And it should have been 2 a few minutes later when Ekitike pulled out some stunning link-up play. Like, he drops off to receive it really deep, but does so it puts Wirtz facing forward and he releases Salah in behind. And you are, I think, going to see a lot of that exact passage of play from Liverpool last season. And I don't even personally know how you defend that. But from then on, control of the game slipped. Palace started dominating the turnovers, had pretty much all of the major chances, and probably should have won it in normal time. So the question is, what is going on here? Now, I am not personally one for average position maps, because they can be a little bit misleading unless you contextualize them properly. But I think this one from Liverpool yesterday tells you so very much. It shows you precisely how they are going to be playing with the bulk of these players and also the major pitfalls that come with it. Like, first off, just look how weighted over on the left-hand side of the pitch all this is. Like Wirtz and Ekitike in particular, they're supposed to be your 9 and your 10, and yet they both massively favour dropping into this space here, linking up with Gakpo, linking up with Kirkes. And that is where the overwhelming majority of all of Liverpool's play in this game came from. Like, these are all of Liverpool's completed passes in the first half, just minus Van Dijk and Konate, so you can see it a bit better. And just look at how many of them are over here. Like, this space is where so many of these players want to have the ball when they are attacking. But also, note that when they do get it out to this opposite side, it's not really worked there the same way it's worked into here. There's loads of long, direct diagonals. It's all very nice, very neat, very technical, very patient when it's over here, and then occasionally we'll just bomb it out over to the right-hand side. And remember both of those points, because they're going to come up in a bit. Now, the first goal shows all of this in action, because as mentioned, it comes at the end of that 20-something pass sequence, winds up at the back of the net, but look at where all of those passes are concentrated. Left inside space, Wirtz dropping in, Ekitike dropping in, rotations between them two, and Gakpo and Kirkes, before finally they make just about enough of an opening for a shot. This is within the very first minutes of the season, Liverpool just showing you what the bulk of their attacking identity is going to be, and I have not used the words Mo Salah once in this video, I think. But the thing is, that in itself is a part of the plan. Last season, Mohamed Salah averaged 45 touches of the ball per game in the Premier League, which is not a remarkable number either way. Like, it's literally the 50th percentile. It's right bang in the middle for forwards. But against Crystal Palace, with so much of the play taking place on the opposite side to him, he had 23. That's it. Like, literally half what he normally has in a game in a match where Liverpool had 60% of the ball. And I've seen people on the little internet of yours saying he's had a stinker or a really bad game, and yes, he did not make any meaningful contributions really, but this role he played, where he saw the ball a lot less, is, as I say, probably going to be the plan. Because like it or not, the man is 33 now. He has done unbelievably well to hold back the physical decline, but this is how you manage that. This system and the way it concentrates its play over here is designed to maximize Mo Salah's impact by ensuring that when he does get the ball, even if that's a lot less, there is usually room to actually do something with it. And that is why, if you go back to the pass map, so many of these players are making these raking balls out to the right-hand side, because by having so many bodies over here, you naturally draw way more of the opposition over there to try and deal with it. So quick passes over to the other side, theoretically, find you in way more space. And the second goal isn't a Salah thing, but it is this principle. Long build-up pattern down this side. Wirtz has dropped into this space. Both Jones and Szoboszlai are involved. And with Palace drawn across, they switch it really quickly out to the opposite side. Now, Palace do get across and adjust really well, but just look at the amount of space Frimpong actually has here. Now, if that had been Salah, he can just breeze past the defender into this space here to either shoot or create. But because it is Frimpong and he is right-footed, he is able to attack down the sides into that gap between the wing-back and one of the centre-backs. Now, I'm not having for 1 second that is a shot. It's a cross that he gets slightly under and it just sort of curls into the net. But the point is, he's still able to get into that space because so much of the play has been drawn over to that side. It's Liverpool's other side of their attacking identity also immediately bearing fruit. And I've used the goal as an example, but if you are in any way skeptical that this is designed for Salah, it's literally where his first touch in the game comes from. The second minute or something, and the left-hand side here obviously has Kirkes and Gakpo because they are playing on the left-hand side, but both of your central attackers are over here, as well as both of your central midfielders. They knock it back to Van Dijk and whoosh straight over to the right-hand side. He finds Salah on the touchline and look at all the space he has. Even with a defender in his face, they've given him a lot more room to play with than anybody on this side of the pitch did. So yeah, this is really good, in my opinion, from an attacking perspective. So why did they not win or even play that well? Well, first off, it must be pointed out that if you are Liverpool, it is much harder to control a game off the ball if you don't have Ryan Gravenberch, and it is a lot harder to control the game on the ball if you don't have Alexis McAllister. So that feels like a fairly quick fix they might make for the start of the season. And also, it would be remiss of me to point out that you can't just throw 4 brand new players into a system and expect it to magically work. Slot's going to have to do a lot of sort of coaching and training to get them as well gelled as they were last season. But neither of those two issues, the change in personnel or the sort of lack of familiarity, were the main problem. That was, in fact, the Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike counter press, because it was virtually non-existent. Last season for Liverpool, these two positions tended to be Diaz and Szoboszlai, who are monsters off the ball, closing down, winning it back, or at the very least, shutting off options sufficiently so when teams get the ball back off Liverpool, they can't then break quickly up the other end. And while Wirtz and Ekitike are obviously massive upgrades on them in terms of what they'll do with the ball and their threat in the final third, they don't, or at least don't yet, have that sort of intensity when the ball is lost. And this is possibly a harsh criticism. It's literally his first game and it's not really what they signed him to do. But when Liverpool lose that ball for the equaliser, I think Florian Wirtz has more than enough time to get back and stop Adam Wharton playing that pass forward. But he just hesitates. A little skip here, the lack of commitment to it is how he's able to play it. Now, maybe that's just something Slot's going to work on with him and he'll improve, or maybe it's not his responsibility at all and he should actually be looking at one of these two to step out and stop that happening. But regardless, this was the entire defensive contribution over 90 minutes from 2 players who are replacing players who used to make a much bigger one. Like literally 3 ball recoveries in a central area in Palace's half. And a ball recovery is not a tackle or a block or an interception, by the way. It's just a loose ball like this that they have gotten back. That, I don't think, will be enough to not cause problems. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird video on why I actually really like what Liverpool are doing and how they're blending their new players and how it makes them a very exciting attacking prospect, but how also at the same time Crystal Palace took one look at it and just went, yeah, no problem, we'll play through that. And if you've enjoyed it, you can, of course, as always, subscribe to us here at ACFC. You are the ones who build the channel, and I can't even tell you yet about all the mad fun stuff we're going to be doing this season. So if you don't want to miss any of that for your club, probably, then make sure you hit that button. You can get me across all the social medias at AdamPBCLERY. But also, more importantly, pachoo, we're now on Instagram and TikTok doing short form reels, which is just the stuff I say in these, but neatly condensed down. So you haven't got to listen to me for 15 minutes. Wouldn't that be nice? So yeah, follow that, follow me, subscribe to the channel, and have a really nice day. What a simple set of instructions those are for you. If only Arne Slot's job was as simple as those 5 things. That's a good outro. Goodbye.